What is going on, YouTube? Fascinating graveyard. Today we're walking past the Walmart parking lot here in Dallas, Texas. You can see the skyline of downtown right behind you. And we're going to a cemetery that I used to kind of hang out at when I used to live here in Dallas almost 10 years ago. I used to come to the cemetery every now and then. Back in those days, I was into cemeteries, but I would never really look anybody up. I would just kind of look around. Homeless people used to sleep at this cemetery. I'm sure they still do. This cemetery is Emmanuel Cemetery. And today we're going to very quickly visit the grave of Abraham Zapruder. He is the man that filmed the assassination of JFK. A very regular person. He was born in what is now the Ukraine on May 15th, 1905. He immigrated to the United States in 1920. He gets a job in New York as a clothing designer, pattern cutter person. I guess he would cut the designs for the dresses. And then he immigrated, or I guess you could just say now he moved to Dallas, Texas in 1941, always in the clothing business. And in 1949, he started a company with somebody else where he specialized in dresses, I think made for, little kids. And on November 22nd, 1963, he came to downtown because he wanted to see the president. And at that time, he had a good camera, an expensive camera for its time, and he made a good living, so he could afford that. I guess you could say he was an amateur photographer / videographer. And he came to downtown Dallas, like many people did, to see the president. Little did he know that his camera would capture footage of the assassination of one of the greatest men to ever walk this country, and just a stomach-turning event that occurred here on that day, November 22nd, 1963. This is the grave of Abraham Zapruder and his wife, Lillian Grossman Zapruder. Yeah, just a very small but a very integral part of the whole Kennedy assassination saga, if you will. And his original copy of that video, I believe it's in some museum, some National Archives museum somewhere. He died August 30th, 1970. He died of stomach cancer. He died in the same hospital that JFK died at, Parkland. Yeah, just a quick video. Sometimes they're quick, sometimes they're only a couple minutes. Other than that, pretty unassuming life, pretty ordinary guy, successful guy, American dream, come to this country with nothing in his pockets, and he made quite a success for himself. And me used to, when I used to live in this neighborhood, I used to deliver food on my scooter, kind of like Uber Eats, but on the scooter. And my hangout to wait for orders was right here. There's a Taco Bell like across the freeway, and I used to hang out there. And sometimes I would just come and walk in the cemetery, and I've walked past this grave quite a few times, and I never knew who this guy was. And it's kind of a shame that I wasn't doing what I'm doing now back then. What did I know back then? I didn't even barely know what YouTube was. I didn't know that a fascination for cemeteries and crime scenes would allow me to escape the rigors of a daily work schedule. And I'm sorry that I never knew that this man was here. Rest in peace to the Zapruders, Abraham and Lillian. I wonder if homeless people still sleep in the cemetery. I'm pretty sure they do. This is a pretty decent area of town. Not much goes on in terms of crime. So, yeah, one day I do want to come back here and vlog this cemetery.